for the blues. My old hometown I left behind, only whispers in my mind, only shadows in my dreams, only strangers walk them streets. And when I go back in my head, I only wish I'd never left. When you find there's nothing left to do, you will find another reason.
Hello, everybody. I don't even have a microphone yet. Yes, I do. There we are. Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's day 20 of the 39 days of July. Yes, 39 days of July. What were we thinking of? Well, when we get to this part, we know that we're on the downside. We've only got 19 days left to go. Oh, well. That's what you get when you put a festival like that together. Now, speaking of festivals, we have this thing on Wednesdays that we do, and we started out a couple years ago. It's called Community Talks, and that's where we invite various organizations within the community to come up and talk about some of the things that they're doing, so maybe the public can get a better idea of what happens. Now, when we did it in the park, it was great, but there might only be 15, 20 people, but we still went ahead with it, and there was a big distance and all that. But now that we've gone to this live stream, last week's one we did was with Dr. Bill Code, and I've already had comments about people who've, because of the streaming, because it's archived, have been able to go back and watch it. So hopefully, once you've seen this, you'll pass it on to your friends tonight, because this is going to be a pretty good explanation about what the Cowichan Folk Guild is all about. And the Cowichan Folk Guild is the ones who are responsible for making sure that the Islands Folk Festival takes place. And this is their 36th year. So one of the things they're going to be doing, they've had to, like us, everyone's had to readjust. The first thing was cancel. But now we're seeing the theaters starting to come out and all up and down the island and all over BC, going out and buying equipment and getting courses for all the people that are with their regular staff to try and switch over, because you can't close large facilities down for a year or two. You got to keep them going. So it looks like live streaming might be the way of the future. And because of that, the Cowichan Theatre is going to be working with the Cowichan Folk Guild and the IFF to do a presentation, which you're going to hear all about today. And the nice thing about here is you got Brent, who's spent a lot of time as the artistic director, and put his heart and soul into this festival over the years for his segment. Andrew's been there for 2-3 years now, having a great time running it all year round. He's got a whole new energy that he's bringing to the festival because of your age.
I'm
Sorry.
40
I'm not
now.
saying the folk guild is made up of older people, but it's time to bring the new people in. And when we think of that, we think of people like Sheena Olson, Sheena has actually grew up because of her mother, Della D., who happens to be the president this year. But prior to that, she grew up inside that. She was a young kid, her and her brother. I remember seeing them running around the festival and being part of it and learning how it goes. And that was a major summer thing. It was probably the finest folk festival out there when you think of a condensed 3-day festival in a location where everyone becomes a big, large family. Right? Mm-hmm. Now, Scott Owen, at the very end, he's going to take it over, but he's the guy who's done MC work a lot of the times, right? And what happens is, in between acts, there's got to be some downtime, right? And dead air sucks. That's just the way it is. So what they do is they pick some poor innocent souls to get up there and try and keep it all going while people are meandering away, and you're supposed to keep their attention, tell the occasional joke, not go overboard, play some of your music, but generally sort of control it so that when the sound is ready to go, you're just finishing what you're doing and you get to introduce the band. It's a fine art. So these four are going to, right now this afternoon, give you a pretty good idea of what they got planned, what's gone on in the past, and keep you interested in what the Cowichan Folk Guild's doing. You guys take it over.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, John. That's a great introduction. I don't know if we need to say anything else. You want to go home, guys? No? You okay? No? All right. Anyway.
Let's say thanks, John.
No, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. John is very familiar with the festival and with the Cowichan Folk Guild, and has supported it over the years in his wonderful ways. My name is Scott Owen, and I will be the MC this year at the Islands Folk Fest, which will be live streaming from Providence Farm on July 26th, from 3 till 9 p.m. Pacific time. I brought a few folks here who know a lot more about the festival than I do, although I will share a brief history of the festival. For myself, I was actually a performer. I think it was 1991 was the 7th, I think. And you won't see me on the poster because I replaced somebody. The Barley Brothers didn't make it, so surprise. And and I got to fill in on a Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock on the big stage and had a real blast and just instantly felt like I was part of a new family. And that was 1991, and well, here I am. I've been hanging out there quite a bit since. As a performer and an MC, and it's always a blessing. So I'm going to pass you over to our current artistic director for the Cowichan Folk Guild, who's going to fill you in on some stuff on how it's working this year and that kind of thing. So, Andrew?
Thank you, Scott.
It's all yours.
Well, I think the first thing I need to say is, what a year it's been. Completely unexpected, obviously, for everybody. And we had such a wonderful festival planned. And the good news is that probably like 95% of the bands that we had booked for this year are going to be back next year for it. And that means we can probably release the lineup a little bit sooner this next year, but we'll leave you in suspense for a little while for sure, because we get to focus on this upcoming online event. So in light of what's happened this year, we really wanted to create something that created employment for people. And you see, you know, mostly artists that are the ones kind of suffering from the lack of employment. But really, behind every artist, there's an agent, there's a promoter, there's techs, there's so many jobs that are hinged in this industry, and nobody's working, and there's no sign of it in the right away near future. So be aware of that, and be thankful for the artists that are standing up there and getting small gigs and still being able to pay some techs and what have you. So we're trying to do that ourselves. So we have the Cowichan Theatre coming in for a day. And of course, our good friends, Doné and Lou from Victoria Backline are coming again. And they're going to take care of all the artists' technical needs like they always do. So it's great. So this year we're going to do from 3 to 9, like Scott said. And we're going to kick it off with one of our favorite duos, the Old Paint Duo, with Miriam Sonsnes and Jeff Dill. And they're just fantastic. Love them. Couldn't be a better folk duo to open up the festival. And then we're going to hit Duncan's own Beverly McKean and the Sweet Band. And then after that, Chris Fry's new project, Chris Fry and the Analog Ghosts. You know probably Chris from the Bills. And they're going to blow us away with a huge set. It's an 8-piece band. I'm very excited for that. It's going to be amazing. And then after that, we're going to hit it up with some blues with Mark Christinger. And then following that, Slim Sandy and the Hillbilly Boppers, who are just a fantastic kind of rockabilly, old-timey kind of band. And we played with them back in September with my band, and they're awesome and great people. I'm really excited for them. And then to close the night, we're going to go a little bit traditional with some Celtic music with Schreier, Hill House, and Dobre, and just 3 of the finest musicians in Canada. And very excited to work with them again. And I don't know if you've all put it together or not, but all of those acts are from Vancouver Island. So we're really trying to support the local community, hence hiring the theater for the technical needs. And we really need to take care of each other. And the outpouring of support that I've felt from performers and from past performers and anybody who's been involved with a festival and just the music community in whole, Long John's been incredibly supportive. And everybody's reaching out, and I'm seeing kind of some camaraderie happen, and everybody's understanding. We don't need to talk about it. We just help each other out, and it's so cool to be part of that. And I hate to say it, I hope we don't have to do online next year, because it's just not going to be the same sitting. We're going to be filming it actually at Providence Farm. Yeah. And we can only have 50 people on site. And guess what? That includes techs and artists. So the artists are going to be playing to like maybe 10 people like out in front. And it won't feel the same, and it won't feel the same for any of us.
It'll be a fun party.
Yeah, I think we'll be laughing. That's all we can really do at this point, is just laugh and do the best we can and have lots of fun and look forward to next year. So, yeah.
Cool.
I don't want to talk anymore.
Could you touch on just slightly on some people may be wondering how, like, who gets to go this year to that party of 50? And some people may be wondering out there, is there tickets for the public and that kind of thing? But I think we should
Yeah.
be clear
Unfortunately,
about
there aren't. It's not a
that. Thank
public
you.
event.
I think we should be clear about that.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah,
all.
it-
Thanks.
I
Yeah.
wish I could invite everybody. I really do.
We do. We wish, yeah.
I also
Okay,
think
thank
it's
you.
worth touching on the fact that if you had purchased tickets for this year's
Mm-hmm.
festival, obviously you're not going to be able to attend, but those tickets will be honored at next year's festival, so hang on to them.
And they're actually
Awesome.
cheaper last year than they would have been for this year. So extra bonus.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if there's a problem and you can't make it, please just drop me an email, artisticdirector@cowichansummerfestival.ca, and we'll take care of you.
Perfect.
So let's talk more rock, right?
Okay, I like it.
I think I'm going to throw it over to Brent here, who has been a long time Islands Folk Festival alumni, artistic director, president, board member, schlepper of rope, all those things.
Done it all.
So please, Brent,
Well,
take it away.
First of all, I'm excited to hear what you've done. It's amazing that you've put that together in such a short period of time because no one knew what was going to be happening, and I'm glad that there's a 36
Yeah.
to keep the tradition going. So, and it sounds great. Those acts are going to be fabulous. I've worked with some of them before, and they're got their new projects, and it's going to be great. I thought, first of all, a little bit that I could do is maybe talk a little bit some history. Just from the artistic directing point of view, just to sort of shout out to some of the people that have been involved since the beginning. And so the first artistic director was Deb Mike. She was a founding member with about 7 or 8 other people. So Mike Ballantyne was very important in that thing too. But she was the artistic director for the first, I think, about 7 years. And then there was a team, a couple, Richard Wright and Catherine Wellner. They were a couple, and they did it for 2 years, I believe, and then they moved up to Barkerville area, and I came in 1994, so the 10th festival at this point, and I did the next 13 festivals in a row, so far the longest, until you came along, because you're going to do 20. That's
come
what
on.
I'm hoping.
35.
I like it.
So from 1994 till 2007, I did those festivals. And then when I left, there was a slight transition, I believe. And I know Deb Mike came in and started to get things rolling. I'm not how far that worked, but she eventually gave up the reins to Robert McCordy, who went from 2008, I believe, to 2013. And so 5 years or so there. And then Bobby Blue came in and was artistic director for the next 3 years, so 16, 17, 18. Kelly Nakasuka took over for Bobby and did the next year and a half, I guess, set up basically some of the acts. And you were saying Andrew took over for, at that point in that transition, on the 19th festival, like 2019,
Correct,
which was 35th year. I'm going by the years, not the numbers, just to make it really confusing. So, and then Andrew joined for that one, the 2019 year, and did 60%, I guess, of the programming and all the scheduling, and put that together for his first run. And this would have been his second, all by himself, choices, taking that artistic palette and throwing the colors on it and all of that. And but now it has to be a bit smaller. But again, I think you've done a great job at doing a sort of substitute under the circumstances that we don't like. And so
Thank you.
that's great. So Andrew's now the artistic director for the 35th and the 36th, and many more to come.
Cool.
Should I play a song?
Yeah, you
I'd
got a
love
song
that.
for us? That's what we're going to do. We're just going to, each going to spout out a bit of information, and then we're going to play songs, because that's what a folk guild does. It's about music. So yes,
So-
please, Brent.
I've often thought with folk music, which has this hard definition, a lot of times folk singers are folk singers until they become really commercially viable, and then they become like pop stars. And like things like Bruce Coburn's an example of that, basically a folk singer, but all of a sudden once you start becoming commercially successful, it goes into a different genre. So this is a song by a folk singer that I like. It's James Taylor's song, and so he would be a folk singer that became commercially viable. To me, wrong, do me right. Tell me lies, but hold me tight. Save your goodbyes for the morning light, but don't let me be lonely tonight. Say goodbye and say hello. Sure enough, good to see you, but it's time to go. Don't say yes, but please don't say you know that I don't wanna be lonely tonight. Go away, then damn ya, go on and do as you please. You ain't gonna see me getting down on my knees. I'm undecided and your heart's been divided. You've been turning my world around, you know. So do me wrong, and do me right. Tell me lies, but hold me tight. Save your goodbyes for the morning light, but don't let me be lonely tonight. I don't wanna be lonely tonight.
Thank you, Brent.
Thank you. James Taylor.
Very nice. Thank you, Brent.
I have
Good
to
stuff.
admit, I was a little bit nervous you were going to play like some Billie Eilish or something like that when you were talking about pop. Not that I have anything against her.
Right on. Thank you, Brent. It's been great to have you involved in all these years as well. Sheena has a few words for us, and then she's going to sing us a song. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
You're on.
So the reason that they brought me in here is because as Long John said, I've kind of grown up around this festival, and I don't consider myself a true festival child because I didn't actually start going until I was probably about 13 or 14. And there definitely are kids that have, you know, Anna Mike, who's been there literally since day one. So,
2 or 35.
yeah, so she wins as festival child, but I have been going since about 13 or 14 years old, and it started out as just this cool thing. My friends and I could go and hang out, and I think I probably did more shopping than actually listening to music in those first few years. But it was always lots of fun, and you know, we felt we had the run of the place, and Mom was always too busy doing something else to pay much attention to us, so we loved it. And then so through the years, I started out just as a paying customer, and then I decided it was too expensive. Once I hit the age groups, youth get a discounted price, but then you have to start paying adult ticket prices. So that's when I became a volunteer, because I didn't want to pay those ticket prices. So I did that for a few years, and eventually our good friend Penelope contacted me and said she had an opportunity for me, and would I be interested in maybe taking on some more responsibility. So we chatted a bit, and she brought me on as the co-coordinator in the vendor role. So Penelope and I worked together, and we were in charge of booking all of those shops that I loved so much. We booked all the food vendors, and we drew out our maps of where everybody was going to go and did all that sort of stuff. So I worked with her for a couple of years on that, and then she handed the reins over to me, and I actually took it on by myself for a few years. Eventually, I ended up stepping away. I took some time off when I got married and had some babies and things like that. But speaking of those true festival children, my son's first folk fest, he was 6 weeks old, and he has attended every folk fest since for the last 8 years.
Wow.
This would have been his 9th, and he's pretty bummed that he's not going to make it. But he now, of course, he talks all the time about how when he runs the festival, he's going to do it this way and all these things. So it's really cool to watch. As I, moved back into a coordinator role, I took on the info booth a few years ago, 3, 4. I don't even. Life is a blur. At least 3, possibly 4. And then I actually joined the board of directors in 2018. and took on the position of vice president in 2019. And at last year's festival, I actually was the acting president on site, as our beloved president had to take a leave of absence. So that was a really interesting experience, and my kids got to see, they've seen all the different aspects of the festival. So they come to board meetings, because I don't have a babysitter, and they've done coordinator meetings, and they've seen me making the schedules of where my volunteers are going to be positioned and how, and shifts and things like that. And the whole feel of the festival with my kids there has changed so much from the festival that I experienced as a teenager, and the whole family aspect of it is just incredible. My littlest one, when I first took on the info booth, he was about a year and a half old, I think, and I literally stuck a post-it note on his back that said, "If found, please return to info booth." And he wandered. He wandered the festival for the whole weekend, and they absolutely love that. There's tons for the kids to do. We have a huge kids entertainment area with their own music, craft activities, there's a slip and slide, there's all sorts of fun stuff for the kids to do.
And the parade.
And the kids' parade is always a ton of fun. We actually stop the festivities on the main stage and let these kids wander in, and they're all dressed up in costumes and playing instruments that they've made in the craft booths, and it's definitely a highlight of the festival.
Absolutely, my favorite part.
Yeah. So in keeping with that whole family thing too, we have had one experience with my stepdaughter, actually, where we got to learn just how effective Ernie's lost child policy is. So we have this amazing policy that goes into play if a child goes missing. And it was the scariest moment of our lives, but from the moment that the call went out on the radio that a child was missing, Scott actually was the MC at the time, and he literally went up on stage and stopped the band mid-song.
In the middle of a song.
In the middle of a
Just
song,
shut it
so
down.
that the whole festival could shut down while we looked for my daughter. And it was less than 10 minutes from when the call went out to when she was located. She had no idea she was missing. She thought she was playing with her friends. But that experience reassured me as a parent that I have nothing to worry about when my kids are on site there, and that everybody knows them and everybody is keeping an eye out, and
big
it
family.
really is just one big family there. And especially, I think, being as involved with the festival as I am. Of course, people know me because they recognize me from the info booth and things like that, but I hear comments all the time about, "Oh my goodness, did you see that kid doing that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's mine." And yeah, it's such an amazing experience for the children, and they're learning such valuable things while they're there. They don't realize they're learning all this stuff, but they're learning collaboration, and they're learning teamwork, and they're learning scheduling, and they're learning safety, and they're learning personal boundaries, and they're learning all of these amazing things. And it's definitely something that has real value in our lives, and will be around as long as the festival will keep us.
Awesome. Great stuff. Thank you, Sheena. Now, Sheena's going to sing a little song for us. This is, she's going to stand up and sing a song for us. Isn't that great? Now, there's a performer that's hung out in these parts quite a bit over the years. He's even got his own clan of Fredheads around the world now. Anyway, it's a Fred Eaglesmith song. We've been fortunate enough to have Fred at the festival a few times.
Nighttime's falling on the summer leaf, supper's getting cold. It's the second time in as many weeks that he hasn't shown. He's probably chasing some old steer across some prairie storm. When she asks him, he'll just shrug and say that's the way things go. But he only gets into town twice a month, and he gets out as fast as he can. And he don't have a phone, so she can't call him up, and she never knows where he is. He smells like horses and he chews tobacco. He cusses and he spits. She's been in love a couple times before, but never quite like this. And next month it'll be those damned old rodeos and fairs, and he'll be gone for 6 weeks straight to God only knows where. He won't win any money, and worse than that, he won't care. When she asks him, he'll just smile. He had a real good time out there. But he only gets into town twice a month, and he gets out as fast as he can. And he don't have a phone, so she can't call him up, and she never knows where he is. He smells like horses and he chews tobacco. He cusses and he spits. She's been in love a couple times before, but never quite like this. Well, he stops his horse to get a light, and the water pours off his hat. He's been out in the rain most of the night, and he ought to be getting back. He's been thinking about the color of her hair and the touch of her hand, the way she quietly smiles whenever she looks at him. But he only gets into town twice a month, and he gets out as fast as he can. And he don't have a phone, so he can't call her up, and he never knows where she is. She smells like flowers and perfume and tobacco and gin. He's been in love a couple times before, but never quite like this. He's been in love a couple times before, but never quite like this. Nighttime's falling on the summer leaves, supper's getting cold.
Sheena Olson, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Good job. God,
you.
that voice. Woo-hoo. Yes. I should introduce you to the art director of the folk festival one of these days. You might get a gig.
I should probably learn how to play guitar.
Oh no, I need a job, so don't do that. All the way over here to me. Uh-oh. Well, I guess we're done. No, I just. Very pleased to be here. I had done a bunch of research, but most of it had already been talked about, and that's awesome that these guys filled in. I did mention earlier that I got to perform at the 7th and the 8th Islands Folk Festival, so I was a performer. Hired at the 8th and filled in at the 7th. And it was a blast. I do remember the feeling of being on stage at that festival and looking out. Now, this is 91 now. My math sucks. 28 years? 29 years ago, somewhere in there. It's a long time ago. And I remember being on stage, and the trees weren't so high so that you could look out, you could see Mount Suhail. Just, it was very, very powerful picture, I remember. You know, like I hardly even looked at the crowd. I was staring at that mountain almost the whole time, but it was a very powerful and spiritual place. And something that I might throw out, I have a question for Andrew. The coffee houses. Now, we're talking a lot about the Islands Folk Festival, which is put on by the Cowichan Folk Guild. But what's happening? Do you have any future plans for the coffee houses? Are they going to be able to come back? Or do you know?
Well, we're having to just kind of.
I don't mean to put you on the spot. I'm just curious, though.
We're following
talk about the guild
guidelines.
a bit.
We do want them back for sure.
Great.
I
Okay.
wish I knew at this point.
Good enough. Good enough.
And we do, and it's important to mention too that the
Good.
Islands Folk Festival is run by the Cowichan Folk Guild.
Thanks.
The
That's
Cowichan
where I was
Fo-
kinda
Yeah,
going.
it's like I was picking up on that. And the Cowichan Folk Guild operates year round. We put on shows in the chapel or the hub, and dances, and of course the coffee houses were lots of
Excellent.
fun with
Yeah.
open mics and what have you. And that's kind of one of the stumbling things we're not sure about is the open mic, because sharing microphones just doesn't fly right now. So
It's very smart. Very wise.
it's
Good.
in the front of my brain, and
Good. Okay.
I'm crossing my fingers and we're hoping.
Excellent.
Pardon me? Oh yes, good point. This was actually just kind of confirmed yesterday, day before yesterday. Anyway, we're gonna start doing some workshops / sessions online, and the first one is going to be tailored mainly to musicians, and it's going to be hosted by Big Little Lions. And if you're not familiar with them, they're a wonderful duo, make great music, but you've heard them, even if you haven't heard them. They're on lots of commercials. I was watching a YouTube video the other night, and I'm like, that's Big Little Lions in the background. I guarantee that. And it was like this Australian diver guy. But anyway, it was really cool. And so they're going to talk about making a living in music outside of performing in venues, in touring and what have you, and ways of kind of capitalizing on your art that isn't so reliant on performing, and hopefully give some tools to local musicians. Or actually, it's going to be online, so I mean anybody in the world can tune in, and it's going to be free too.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. Hopefully we get some traction with that, and it does a lot of good for people.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Andrew. Good. Yeah, I just it was important that we touch on the
Oh
couch
yeah,
and
sorry.
broke
It's
Bill.
August 15th.
Keep going. Go
August
for it.
15th. I forgot to mention when it was happening.
Okay.
We haven't sorted out a time yet.
And how
but
do they
it's-
find it online? How do they find it online? Where they
It'll
just-
be all over social media, and it'll be on our website,
excellent.
Cowichan and Folk Guild one, and I'll probably put it on the Islands Folk Festival one as well, just
Might as well.
cause. Why not?
Might as well. It's there. Perfect. Great. Thanks, Andrew. Good stuff. Well, speaking of that, that mountain that kept freaking me out back in '91, I ended up writing a song about that mountain, or about the fella that mountain is named after. This is a song I wrote in a little cabin I had in Maple Bay many moons ago. And I'd done a little bit of research about Chief Zuhalem. And to me, folk music is so broad, yet, it's about storytelling, it's about protesting, it's about inclusion of cultures. Cultures come together and they bring their folk music and bring our folk music, and it just... That's all I can say. It's very relaxing. I love folk music. It's not so angry usually. Some of the protest stuff at times, I suppose. But anyway, here's a song I wrote about Chief Zuhalem, who I'd heard some stuff about big battles down in Maple Bay, where First Nations from other areas would come and take Coast Salish folks as slaves. And there'd be awfully big battles in Maple Bay, and a lot of blood in the water for many days and things like that. And I'd heard that he had witnessed one of these battles and watched his mother and brother being slain. And may have been one of the reasons that he was so angry. But I also heard another really cool story just recently about the fact that there may have been two Chief Zuhalems, and one's story and the other one's story have all kind of blended into one story. So I'm going to do more research on that. There's a fellow over here who knows more about it right now than I do, but I'm looking at the clock, Brent. So, but if I've got time after this song, we'll get to you. Anyway, this is what I came up with. Born in the worst thunderstorm 19th century ever seen, there came a spirit to heaven. As a boy he grew with incredible pride, became the joy of the Cowichan tribe, the spirit of fear and hate always near. Come fly with me, I'll take you to the sea, where the bays above the red for days. Come fly with me, Zuhalem, can't you see? Your wrath did not fade. Many moons old the Haida came and took what they wanted, with many slain. His mother and brother were banished to the spirit of Keat. Such anger grew from the warm land. In 1844 he led his band in defense of the spirit of a steer. Come fly with me, I'll take you to the sea, where the babe's blood red for days. Come fly with me, oh Zuhalem, can't you see? Your wrath did not fade. When does rage take over and make a man blind? In killing your own, no answers you find. He was banished to the spirit of the caves. Now 14 wives when he died, now not a one, oh, by his side. Zuhalem was a spirit set free. Come fly with me, oh, I'll take you to the sea, yeah, with a babe's blood red for days. Come fly with me, oh Zuhalem, can't you see? Oh, your wrath did not fade. Your wrath did not fade. Oh, your wrath did not fade. There you go. Cheers.
Great songwriting on that, Scott.
Thanks so much.
Super impressed.
Thank you. I was kind of hoping the folks who were making the movie about him heard that. If you're out there. Apparently they're making a movie about him right now.
Yeah, Harold Joe is going to be doing
Harold
a
Joe
movie, I
said,
read that.
yep.
Yeah.
And Brent, please take a few minutes and chat about Chief Zuhalem if you wish. And tell me,
well,
tell a couple, take a couple minutes. We got about 6
I don't
minutes,
know
I think.
That's true. That's just
That's the thing,
stories
eh?
that
Okay,
people
well,
told
let's
me,
see.
so
There's
I
so
gotta
much
wait for the
lore
movie.
about it, isn't there? There's so much lore out there
There's a
about
lot
it
of lore. That's a very powerful
him being quite a character. So, what else we got? Do you know Paradise by John Prine?
No.
Oh, well, it's just down south. But anyway,
Play it.
but I'm going to do that song because it's just a fun song. So. When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky where my parents were born. There's a backward old town that's often remembered, so many a time that my memories are worn. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. As sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Airdrie Hill, where the air smelled like snakes and we'd shoot with our pistols, but empty pop bottles was all we would kill. And Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. And the coal company came with the world's largest shovel. They tortured the timber, stripped all the land. Yeah, they dug for their coal till that land was forsaken, and they wrote it all down as the progress of man. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. When I die, let my ashes float down the Green River. Let my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, out by the Green River where paradise lay? I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Got to throw a little prine out there every time I play, because we still have to honor that guy's music. We lost him recently.
Hey,
So I think we're just going to wrap it up now.
well, I just want to.
John's back.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
I want to thank you guys. And I just want to remind people that right now this is the way that things are being presented, and it may be for a little bit longer than we expect. But J.P. Cormier said it best, right? Instead of going to bars and going back to the places where everybody's still getting paid and the food's all costing the same price, but the musicians are having to take another cut and pay half price, that if they start going online, you, the fan base, the general public, can support them and help them out. If you were going to go to a place, give that $10 to them. Give $20 to that performer. Go online, watch their show. That may be the way that we can keep musicians still alive, you know, for the next little while we're going through this. So it's up to us now as music fans to make sure that takes place. Now, one thing I just wanted to bring up was that we're looking forward to, as the 39 Days of July, of doing a 10th annual. And you guys know about this because the 10th was big, the 20th was big, the 30th was big, 35th was big. We wanted to get to our 10th, but you know, you can't do a 10th if you don't do a 9th. Right? And you can't have a 37th if you don't do a 36th. So I'm really happy that the Islands Folk Festival found a way to bring it to you. And there's going to be a donate button on there. It's not overly finished. If you can help out and support, maybe buy your tickets in advance for next year. You know, make sure that you commit so that we all know that folk music and the whole folk festival feeling and the festival feeling and just music in general is an important part. Because if you've been watching the news, they're putting music way at the back. The entertainment, well, sometime in the future we'll think about what to do with you guys. So right now it just happens to be, there's people going out there. I love it in Calgary. There's one group of people going out on the top of his van and doing a house concerts. You know, and you get 20 people together. And that's another thing. Any of the folk musicians that you hear about through the Folk Guild or through us or anywhere, you can get them to come to a private house party, specifically now more than ever. It's not free, right? There's a price for it. Be reasonable. But you can get it together and still have that bubble coming together, be socially distanced, still have live music, and have your own little mini festival. Matter of fact, I bet you if you took pictures of that, a little movie, and passed it on to the Islands Folk Festival, they'd really appreciate it to show that you do care, right? That festivals need to happen. Make your own mini festival if you can't. We can't do it that way this year. Right? Thanks, guys, for coming. This is really, you got a lot of information.
Thank you, John,
Ben,
for
all
having
those
us.
Years you put in there,
Thank
right?
you.
Because I forgot to mention, I said earlier that you've been the artistic director, but you've also been the president. You've also been all the way along, all those things. Keeping that eye for what has to happen, right? Not just what's happening. You got to look ahead. And all of these people are doing that right now. I want to thank him very much. This concludes
Peace, folks.
this community talks part. We're going to get ready for Kevin Bars here, down from the Yukon. He's from the Undertaken Daddies. He's going to be here, you know, in 15 or so minutes, probably about 5 o'clock, I should say. It'll take us a few minutes to get all these guys off the stage, I'm sure. We're just like that. Thanks very much for tuning in. Don't forget, donate whenever you can to help keep
Thanks,
music
John,
alive.
so much.
Thank you.
What a beautiful way to say good morning, hey. What What's yours is mine. I need some time. I hope you don't mind, I'm a runaway. Driving on the line to find a better me. I hurry, don't you worry. I will hurry. Looking for a sign through highs and lows. Can't get lost, gonna make it home. I hurry, don't you worry. I will hurry. I'm tired, I'm done. Speed blinded. Moonlight, my guide, rose white over mine. What's yours is mine, but I need some time. I hope you don't mind, I'm a runaway. Driving on mine to find a better me. I hurry, don't you worry. I will hurry. Looking for a sign through eyes and lows. Can't get lost, gonna make it home. I hurry, don't you worry. I will hurry. I won't be long. It's hard to say how long I'll be gone. Don't wait up, believe and let on. I won't be long, yeah. Wait for me just a little more time. No more long drive, late nights looking for a sign. Yeah. Hope you don't mind, I'm a runaway. Driving all night to find a better me. Don't worry. Don't hurry, yeah. Hope you don't mind, I'm a runaway. Driving all night to find a better me. I hurry, don't you worry. I will hurry. Looking for a sign through eyes and lows. Can't get lost, gonna make it home. I hurry, don't you worry. I will hurry. Hope you don't mind, hope you don't mind. Yeah, hurry, don't you worry. I will end this story.
Day that passes by, don't you're out of sight. You are always on my mind. Time would stand still. It was only you and I. Though you left much too soon, our memories will never die. Though I feel so lost without you, I know it's somehow find my way. I dream of the day I'll see you again under crimson somewhere with the angels.
This old house has seen its fair share of sorrow. Joy for the day, hope for tomorrow. In this old house, there are nights I don't recall. Watch letters burn and seasons turn and her lover call. In this old house, in this old house, yeah. These old jeans, they hold whispers of romance. Once a baby blue, now faded in my hands. In these old jeans, I find the color of her eyes. Been worn so thin again and again, my love, it never dies. These old jeans, these old jeans. This old guitar holds my blood on string. fishes right in my hands as I sing with this old guitar. I find words I could never find on my own. Forgotten dreams and busted seams, memories of home. And this old guitar, this old guitar. This old house has seen its fair share of sorrow. Joy for the day, hope for tomorrow. This old house, this old house, this old house. This old house.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to day 20 of the 39 days of July. Yes, we're on the far side. We're on the slide down to the end. We got only 19 full days left to go after today. And then 18, then 17, then 16. No, is it? Like, pretty soon we'll be the same length. No, we've already passed Kerrville. Kerrville says they're the longest music festival out there, right? And we just passed that. And we got another one to do. Oh, we're going to keep it at we already keep it to 39 days of July. That goes usually from long weekend to long weekend. But everyone says, well, are you going to do more? So on the Labor Day weekend, we do have, on the Sunday, we have the 40th day of July. One more kick at the can for summer.
40 days, 40 nights.
You know it. Well, you got to be careful. That number was used. That's why we couldn't go 40 days. That was pretty well taken, you know.
Well, Rump and Ronnie Hawkins used it too, so you
Yeah,
can
did
use
he?
that version, yeah.
Right.
I'll give you 40 days. Get
Right.
back home, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, 39's ours, and that's just the way it is. So we were really fortunate, by the way, that Kevin here was on his way back to the Yukon. Why would anyone go to the Yukon? I don't know, but I'm afraid to go up there because everyone I've known that's gone up there hasn't come back for a long, long time. And when they do, it's usually in February just to come down and see what civilization looks like. And then they go back up. But they've got a music scene up there that is just phenomenal. As a matter of fact, that's where the Undertaken Daddy started out, wasn't it?
It sure was, yeah.
Right, and you guys you were nominated for Juno, or did you win a Juno?
Nominated for Juno, Western Canadian Music Awards, and then at the height of all that, we decided this is enough of that. We
Isn't
were
that the way-
going up, but we weren't going down.
Yeah, we're here now. Let's just call it. eh?
Yeah, call it.
But it was fun, and over the years, I've got to be good friends with this gentleman, and found out some of the music that he did. And I remember you're from that North Bay area, right?
North Bay is where I was born, Ontario.
Yeah, and that whole area, like just south of there, and that whole sort of perimeter, there's a lot of picking going on. Like not the hardcore. You don't get a lot of heavy metal players out of there. You seem to be a lot more sort of that old timey bluegrassy kind of.
Bluegrassy and accordion. Vic Virgili and the Laurentian Valley Boys played at my wedding.
Oh.
Well, Laverne Hummel on fiddle.
Well, okay, so you get the general idea where his roots are, right? And he's down, as I said, he's down from the Yukon. He was just heading back up, and we were able to find him for an extra day and say, stay around, we want to have you. And the slot was open, so thank God Kevin Barr could be here. So please, give it up for him, and we'll get started with his time lyric.
Thank you very much, Long John. And it is great to be back here in Duncan, and really honored to be able to be back at the new Duncan showroom. The last time was at the old place, and I've stopped in at some of the open mics, and I'm not sure if that's going on. It is in August, okay, so that's always fun, and it's good to come in and do something like this because you have Dr. Ted Cadillac on sound doing that, and it's videoed and it's live streamed, so you can get a chance to play with some great folks on a great stage and take it from there. But getting back to music and being here, I really do like it on the island, and it's I'm already, I think, 3 weeks over when I was going to go back. But I do love it in the Yukon. It's hard when you love so much of where you're at and the people. One thing about being here in the island and connecting with old friends is it feels like coming home here too. So it's really special for me. And I want to kick this off with I think it was Bim Roy Forbes that said, "Dance with the one that brung you." And I think anyway, this is a tune that with the Daddies that did well for us. It's one of ours, and it's called Isabel. Isabel came to Montgomery from somewhere on the coast. Moved in from the country, make a living, running from her memories full of ghosts. There she met Sam Brown, Bill bondsman of our town. Some people he set free had no right to be walking through the streets of our town. Oh, Isabel, of your fate none can tell. Down in the river, two children see a cotton dress snagged in a willow tree. Into Samuel's office walked a man she knew, someone from her hometown. Something had happened about a year ago. Two men went down. Billy Johnson was his name. Through this county spread his fame. The story isn't clear, but from what we hear, the fight was over, Isabel. Oh, Isabel, of your fate none can tell. Down in the river, two children see a cotton dress snagged in a willow tree. Oh, Samuel, he went missing just about a month after Isabel had started there. They were last seen walking along the railway tracks where the river met them there. Billy's gone without a word. Through the night, two shots are heard. Some people he set free had no right to be walking through the streets of our town. Oh, Isabel, of your fate none can tell. Down in the river, two children see a cotton dress snagged in a willow tree. Oh, Isabel, of your fate none can tell. Out on the highway in the clothes of Mr. Brown, a girl was seen hitching out of town. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Ted Cadillac. That sounds great. Yeah, I'm happy. Are you guys happy out there? We have people in the audience. It's a live stream, but there's a whole lot of people in the audience. Woo! I can't believe it. I was up in the Yukon, and before I could come down, I got a boat down here, and I was trying to get down to do the work on it, and couldn't do it. Of course, we all know why. And finally, they opened up the borders, and then I would have had to be quarantining for 2 weeks when I got back to the Yukon, but they decided that because both BC and the Yukon are doing so well, we can go back and forth and visit each other without quarantining. So how about a big hand for all the folks that are doing all those good things for all of us together during these times. Otherwise, we would not be here today together. I'd be sitting at my kitchen table, singing songs like I was doing it for a few months there every day. And I had a request when some people heard I was going to be here today to do one of those songs. And it's kind of fitting because it's timeless. It's kind of a timeless tune, I think, written by Glenn Campbell. And it's just something that by being by ourselves, we have a lot of time to reflect and we got to do better for each other and be kind to each other and help each other out. I always know that when I wasn't doing so well, I was really thankful for people that kind of loved me till I could love myself. And that's what this is about, this song, and we need a whole lot more of that in this world. Ever see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load on the seeds he sowed? Ever see your sister falling by the way? Oh, stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You got to try a little kindness, yeah, show a little kindness. Shine your light for everyone to see. If you try a little kindness and you'll overlook the blindness of a narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. Don't walk around down and out. Lend a helping hand instead of doubt. And the kindness that you show every day will help someone along their way. You got to try a little kindness, yeah, show a little kindness. Shine your light for everyone to see. If you try a little kindness and you'll overlook the blindness of a narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. You got to try a little kindness, yeah, show a little kindness, or shine your light for everyone to see. If you try a little kindness and you'll overlook the blindness of a narrow-minded people on the narrow-minded street. Thank you. Yeah. Shh. It's different having people really clapping back there. It's great. It's. I know there's a lot of musicians that would relish just to be sitting on a stage and just because that's what we do, and it's part of when you live and breathe and music, and you love music and you love sharing it with people. There's not as much of it going on where I can actually see shadows in those seats. So thanks for having me again, John, and here at the new Duncan Garage showroom. Maybe I'll do this song. It's another Daddy's tune, but it's recorded by us, but it's written by not recorded, sorry, we recorded it, but it was written by a good friend of mine, Buddy Tabor from Juneau, Alaska. And he's no longer with us as in this world. He's up in the spirit world. But he used to come by and visit, and first met him at a elder's campfire. Art Johns, he's a Tlingit elder up there, and he's not doing too good these days, so I do know that all of us have people knows that, in our lives that needing some prayers. So please say a little prayer for your loved ones. Anyway, Buddy used to come by and listen to stories and go off and write an album, and he'd come back to my place in the mountains there in Craig Lake in the Yukon, and we'd go over them. And this is kind of one that he come up with from listening to Art. Art was an old cowboy, Indian cowboy. He had a lot of horses, and at 9 years old, he used to take men out on 2-week hunts. I can't imagine, as I get on in the years, being independent, having to ask for somebody to feed me. All my tracks are covered by new fallen snow. There's no trace where I've been. I have turned my back on the snow and the cold, and I won't be back again, my friend. Lord, I never shall return here again. I have trapped and traveled all over this ground. Now the gold from your mountain cut your tall trees down. Rode 1,000,000 miles on that asphalt dream. Heard the hum of the wheel, heard that train whistle scream. Now the skies turn gray like the strands of my hair. My eyes grown pale and dim. Raise your glasses high with a prayer on your lips. I won't be back again, my friends. Lord, I never shall return here again. All my tracks are covered by new fallen snow. There's no trace where I've been. I have turned my back on the snow and the cold, and I won't be back again, my friends. Lord, I never shall return here again. As I was saying, Buddy would sit and listen to some tunes, and Art would be telling stories. Around that campfire, we'd go for a little horseback ride. And one time, Buddy headed off, as he does every winter, and he came back in the spring to do some riding. He didn't know that Art and his son Tagish and myself, we loaded up all those horses. He had about 9 left in the back of the big old truck. Art said the horses are going to be horses for the rest of their lives. I'm going to take them up in the mountains. He says, I'm done doing this, and they're going to be doing horses for the rest of their days. So we loaded them up. We took it down an old gravel road off a Annie Lake Road, and took them up in the mountains, swum them across the river, and we let them go free. And in the wintertime, we'd hop on our snow machines after that. We'd go see how they were doing, and Art would bring an apple or two, and Art's horse was happy to hear that snow machine coming, and me and Tagish would be standing back, and we'd watch them horses just pounding through the mountains in the snow and the long winter mane to be flying through the airs, and happy he'd head right for Art, and he'd give him love. He'd put, a horse can just nuzzle up under you there. They were letting each other know that they missed each other. We just stood back and give them some space. We get back on our snow machines. We knew they were good. We'd head back down the mountain. And of course, Buddy heard that story and he put this last verse to this song. Take the saddle off my pony, take the bridle off my mare, turn it loose way out in green pastures, where the grass grows tall and fair, where the grass grows tall and fair. And all my tracks are covered by new fallen snow. There's no trace where I've been. I have turned my back on the snow and the cold, and I won't be back again, my friends. Lord, I never shall return here again. Thank you. True story. All my, you know, a lot of the songs that I've written or I do is because I've lived them, really. And there's lots of times I don't bother to write nothing because somebody's written it, and I feel like I don't need to. They done it, and that's why I learn it. And so I used to drink with the hobos when I was younger in North Bay, Ontario. And I left home when I was 15. The first time I took off when I was 10. And anyways, North Bay was a railway town, and it was the switching yards for all the trains that would run east and west. And I was doing dishes in this restaurant, and this old hobo would come in every day, and we used to drink 67 sherry, and it was 65 cents a bottle. I think Dave's from out there, right, Dave? Back in that area, Sudbury, North Bay. And anyhow, he'd come in, he'd get a bowl of water and a hot water and a cup of hot water, and he'd take the ketchup bottle and he'd fill that bowl and have tomato soup and use the crackers around the table, and then he'd get his own tea bag and he'd out of his long coat, and he'd put it in the, so he had tea and tomato soup, and then he always tipped the waitresses 25 cents. And he was just a dear old guy, and he never showed up one day, and we were wondering where he was, because Blackie, the old man, would let him come in before the noon hour lunch rush, and we found him frozen in a boxcar, and that's how it was. And of course, you know, the trains really don't run east and west anymore. And my cousin, a lot of my family worked for the railways back then. So there'd be hobo jungles all around that town. And so try to remember the times with spending time with them. And my uncle was a freight train engineer for the CPR. So North Bay was a lot of great memories. And I know reconnecting with the Mitchell family, they were here yesterday, the Mitchell sisters, and Mitch and the Baroness were here the day before. Pete, he's another Mitchell guy. A lot of music.
And Joanne's watching right now.
Oh, and Joanne. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Joe. Joe's a great singer, too. Thanks, Dr. Ted Cadillac. Anyhow, it's just a lot of great memories, and I wanted to, I always wanted to write a song about that. And I remember driving across Canada when they shutting down the trains, and all these towns are boarded up because, of course, they started selling everything north and south. So they weren't using that track; they're just running in a little bit of track in those days, and still are for the most part. Anyway, this song is called "Old 67," and it's I wrote this about those days and growing up in that town. Old 67, take me down the line to a warmer place somewhere in my mind.
laying in the tall grass with the hobos of this time. Old 67 will take me down the line. North Bay's another railway town vanishing by the way, lost in the name of progress. It's a high-stakes game they play. Another lesson learned all too late. Listen to what I say. I'd rather ride the rails, take a Greyhound any day. Old 67, take me down the line to a warmer place somewhere in my mind. Laying in the tall grass with the hobos of this time. Old 67, take me down the line. Three-fingered Jimmy on the backs of old freight trains made his way from Nova Scotia up to the North Gateway. Drinking 67 cherry for breakfast every day. A boxcar was his coffin, as I remember him today. Old 67, take me down the line to a warmer place somewhere in my mind. Laying in the tall grass with the hobos of this time. Old 67, take me down the line. Oh, the whistle of a freight train stirs the blood in my uncle's veins as he takes a nip of gin to make the chill go away. There was a time when this railway united this land. Now north and south is the way it runs, no one gives a damn. Old 67, take me down the line to a warmer place somewhere in my mind. Laying in the tall grass with the hobos of this time. Old 67, take me down the line. Old 67, take me down the line. Thank you. I got to give a special shout out to Here All Day, Every Day, June, that's down here. She's the lady down here. How about a big hand for June? She's a local Duncan resident, I'm sure. Hey! Beautiful. You're a special soul. I could tell when I saw you yesterday. Yeah. Thank you. I'm going to sing you a song, okay? June? Dedicate this to you. And my Uncle Jim taught me this. And I recorded it on my first solo CD, Kevin Barr Lost and Found. KevinBarr57@hotmail.com if you want to get any of those things. But things by meaning CDs. And he used to sing this for my Aunt Marg when we were around campfires and stuff, and I'd always chord for him because he never played guitar. But he taught me lots of these old songs, and usually he'd be singing a little kind of a dirty song before that. And Aunt Marg wasn't at the campfire during those times, but he would, when he was going to sing a dirty kind of a tune, he'd take her picture out of his wallet, and he'd get one of us kids to go run and hide it behind a tree. So then he could do his songs like that. You know, we just loved that stuff, eh? Wow, that's pretty cool. He's swearing and everything. And then in order to, no, I gotta, well, Margie's gonna kill me. Marg, don't tell Margie I sang that. Don't tell Margie I sang that one. And then, so when he'd be done, he'd want to make up to her. He says, go get the picture. So one of us would go grab that picture, he'd put it back in the wallet, and then he'd sing her this song. And we lost them both just a couple of years ago. They both passed pretty close to each other in their 80s, late 80s. So anyway, this is a Judd Strunk song, and he recorded this. He was also a Métis guy, a musician that went on to be a politician, the governor of Maine. Hello. He remembers the first time he met her. He remembers the first thing she said. He remembers the fondling and teasing, and the night she came to his bed. He remembers her fond way of saying, honey, something gone wrong. He remembers the laughing and teasing, and the reason he wrote her this song. I'll give you a daisy a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. They would walk down the street in the evening. For years I would see them go by. Their love was more than the clothes that they wore. Could be seen the gleam in their eye. As a kid they would take me for candy. I loved to go tagging along. We'd hold hands and walk to the corner, while the old man would sing her this song. I'll give you a daisy a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy a day. I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. We would walk down the street in the evening. For years I would see them go by. Their love was more than the clothes that they wore. Could be seen the gleam in their eye. And as a kid they would take me for candy. I might have done this verse already, but I love it. As a kid they would take me for candy, and I'd love to go tagging along. We'd hold hands and walk to the corner, while the old man would sing her this song. I'll give you a daisy a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy a day. And I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. Now he walks down the street in the evening and stops by the old candy store. Somehow I believe he's believing. He's holding her hand like before, or he feels all the love walking with him. He smiles at the things she might say. Then the old man walks up to the hilltop, and he gives her a daisy a day. I'll give you a daisy a day, dear. I'll give you a daisy a day. And I'll love you until the rivers run still, and the four winds we know blow away. Thank you. True story. Thanks. I'm not sure how much time I have, but if there's something somebody'd like to hear.
You got about 15 minutes.
Oh, I got 15 minutes. Okay. Okay. Pushing up daisies? Oh, jeez. Okay. I'll do that. Here's another original. Actually penned with Daddy's recorded this. And it started off with a friend of mine passing, Mr. Phil Lloyd from Sudbury. Yeah. I know Dave knows him. And I met Steve. Is Steve here today? Oh, hey, cool. And Steve knew all these guys, played with Mike Holder and Dennis Kahn and Victor John, all the guys that we used to know back in Sudbury. And Phil was Canada's Willie Nelson, really. And he was a party guy. And
He'd help anybody out. He's one of those guys that he'd leave town owing money, and people didn't care when he came back. They just were happy to see him again. And he helped me. It's 33 years, actually, that I haven't partied like I used to at all. So kind of clean and sober guy these days, not kind of, totally. And Phil used to get me where I needed to go for help for the first year that I finally got a whole year in. It'll be 33 years on June 17th. That, yeah, that's okay. Because it's you guys that helped me, so you're clapping for yourself too. And you may not know it, but that's how it works. And anyhow, we lost Phil, and that's where I saw Steve, actually at his memorial. There was 3 memorials for Phil in Canada, and there was all who's who in the Canadian country music, and music was there, and we had a great time sending him off. And anyhow, he told me one time that he had 3 wives, and they all came to his funeral, wherever they were, and I went to write a song because he had this way of singing and way of phrasing, and he told me about one of his wives that she wanted roses and fine wine and all that stuff, and he says, "Oh, I could show up for the anniversary. I picked some daisies, a wild day. I give it to her, but that was kind of near the end of it for that marriage, I guess." Anyhow, I always wanted to write a song about Phil and honor him, and I went to visit my grandpa because I was missing in action when my grandma passed, and went back to the old farm like St. Peter and gathered all these flowers and apples and laid on the grave with him. And he was buried under a pine tree. So it's kind of about honoring both those special guys, my grandpa and Phil, and it starts off with being at my grandpa's grave. It's called Pushing Up Daisies. I'm glad you came to see me underneath this old pine tree, even though I can't hold you anymore. Black is not your color. Who's that in the car? Does he know who you really are? So baby, are you happy now that I'm pushing up daisies? The roses are what you'd have me send to you. I know that I could never please you with such a common flower, but daisies are the best that I can do. I met you in the springtime. I wasn't ready for the fall. Seasons, they will come, then they're gone. Summer's love can fool you, leave you feeling nothing's wrong. Winter's chill cuts right to the bone. So baby, are you happy now that I'm pushing up daisies? The roses are what you'd have me send to you. I know that I could never please you with such a common flower, but daisies are the best that I can do. even though you can't be sorry for all the things you've said and done. You know I'll always love you anyway. Horn is blowing, it's time for going. Take some flowers when you leave. He's waiting, dear, I guess you're on your way. So baby, are you happy now that I'm pushing up daisies? The roses are what you'd have me send to you. I know that I could never please you with such a common flower, but daisies are the best that I can do. Yes, daisies are the best that I can do. Woohoo! Thank you. All right. I'll just bring this down a bit. I was playing in Carcross and I was doing this bluegrass tune for any bluegrassers out there. And this woman was standing near me and she was listening. At the end of it, I said, it's an old Merle Travis tune. And I'd learned it off the Circle Be Unbroken album many years ago. And I thought it was Merle Travis. It had been so long since I looked at any liner notes. And as you get a little older, you get craft disease. Can't remember a friggin' thing. And what? Yeah! Anyhow, this bluegrass tune, I learned back then. I loved it. And at the end, she said, well, you did a pretty good job in that song there, young fella, but that's a Jimmy Martin song. I says, well, yeah, it sure could be, because it's been a long time since I actually played it. But she says, well, I should know. I'm Mrs. Jimmy Martin. So, Barbara Martin, don't give your love to a rounder. That's her book. We got to be friends after that a little bit. And here you go, Jimmy Martin song. Come and listen to my story, if you will, I'm gonna tell. It's about a gang of fillers from down at Nashville. First I'll start with the Red Foley doing Chattanooga shoe. Can't forget Hank Williams singing out the lovesick blues. Well, it's time for Roy Acuff to go to Memphis on his train. Manny Pearl and Rod Grassfield and Lazy Jim Day. I'll turn on all your radios and know you can't forget. Hear a little Jimmy Dickens sing, take an old coat tater and wait. There'll be guitar, fiddles, banjo picking too. Velvet Rice singing out them old Chucky blues. Ernest Tubbs' number to rolls Omega right at the Grand Ole Opry every Saturday night. There was Uncle Dave making gold-toothed and club hat. Cowboy Copus singing tragic romance. Sound sealed and delivered with Sam and Kurt McGee. And the master ceremony was Mr. George DeFay. There was Alonzo and Oscar popping bubblegum. George Morgan singing Candy Kisses. Yum, yum, I got a hole in my bucket singing out the Georgia Mill. I sang the sunny side of the mountain and danced to the chicken reel. There'll be guitar, fiddles, Earl Scruggs and his banjo too. Bellman Rice singing out them old Kentucky blues. Ernest Tubb number to rolls Omega right at the Grand Ole Opry every Saturday night. You can talk about your singers in all kinds of ways. None can compare to old Bradley Kincaid. There's old Hound Dog guitar and a famous blue tail fly. String beans, Hank Snow, and old Philly Chubby Wise. There'll be guitar, fiddles, Earl Scruggs and his banjo too. Bellman Rice singing out them old Kentucky blues. Ernest Tubbs number to rolls Omega right at the Grand Ole Opry every Saturday night.
There'll be guitar, fiddles, Earl Scruggs and his banjo too. Bill Monroe singing out them old Kentucky blues. Ernest Tubbs' number, your wrongs won't make it right. At the Grand Ole Opry every Saturday night. At the Grand Ole Opry every Saturday night. Woohoo! Well, thank you very much. Here's another tune we recorded it with the Daddies, and we wrote this, Bob and I, Bob Hamilton, and it's another up-tempo song. I was thinking of this song as I was singing this last song, and because it's fast, I guess, and it's in G, so I guess I'll do it. And it was Roger Miller that said, pride is the chief cause of the decline of the number of husbands and wives. And I used to wake up in front of the Capitol Hotel Park out there, actually, from being up all night and most of the day, so I'd be on time for the gig at 9:30 at night. And they used to call me Bronco Billy. I had this Bronco. And anyway, they knew where to find me. I'd kind of wash my face and we'd do the show. And anyways, there's a little bit about that. I've got two wheels in the ditch, both hands on the wheel. I'm in a four-wheel drive, trying to outrun my pride all the way back to you. Now it was wrong the day I left you standing all alone. At the time I thought I had to make it on my own. Running down the yellowhead, I can't forget the things you said. Now I'm only missing you and home. I've got two wheels in the ditch, both hands on the wheel. I'm in a four-wheel slide, trying to outrun my pride all the way back to you. Now I was just a number, waiting in a line, stuck there in the city where friends are hard to find. I was closing down the bars, waking up in my car, dreaming dreams of only you back then. I've got two wheels in the ditch, both hands on the wheel. I'm in a four-wheel slide, trying to outrun my pride all the way back to you. Now maybe I should call you and tell you that I'm fine. There's no shoulder on this road, I'm waiting for a sign. Car's ball, the gas is low, my radiator's bound to blow. There'll be no turning back till I'm with you. I've got two wheels in the ditch, both hands on the wheel. I'm in a four-wheel slide, trying to outrun my pride all the way back to you. I've got two wheels in the ditch, both hands on the wheel. I'm in a four-wheel slide, trying to outrun my pride all the way back to you. All the way back to you. Hey! Thank you. Now, I must do a John Prine song because we lost him in COVID, and I'd like to do a shout out to all the musicians. There's a few others that didn't make it through that, but not only the ones that aren't with us today, but those that are support your musicians, please. There's things that are going to be happening more and more online, and everybody has bills to pay, and you know, all the tech guys, all the things that are going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of people that have fallen through the cracks with the support that's out there financially. So a big shout out to the Duncan Showroom. I know I'm probably getting close to the time. I'm done. Big hand, please. And this is live stream. That's 39 Days of July. And I'm really, this is the first time I got to do this. So thank you very much, Dr. Ted Cadillac back there in the sound. And Longevity John for having me. It's been a few years since I actually did a gig like this. We show up for these open mics once in a while when I'm around, but this is just great to sit here and play some songs for you. And
Thanks for doing it, man.
hey,
Appreciate it.
I really, this is great. This is just great. You wander around this place, even if you want to come in, it's like a museum. Everywhere you look, there's stuff. And I walked around, I took photos of things because there's like, okay, I hope I see something like that. Or maybe he'll sell that. I don't know, but not likely. Yes. But the showroom is also there's always available. You're available to donate some money here to keep this place going, and check it out. I don't know the handle of the, but if you Google, it's on the website. Okay, and it's on. I posted today.
Showroom, you'll find that, and Google 39 Days of July, you'll find us. You'll find our YouTube channels and our Facebook pages and everything. You can just
Google 39 Days of July.
Duncan Showroom,
Duncan Showroom.
Productions.ca, and
Production.
39daysofjuly.ca are our websites, but just Google, you'll find it.
They heard that? You said that? Okay. Duncan Showroom. Google that.
I'm not only in your monitors, they can also hear me sometimes.
Wow! Very cool. So, do I have time like for this one song?
Hells yeah. You
Couple?
do. No, just one.
One. Okay. Well, then I'm gonna do this one, and in honor of John Prine. And I recorded this on a solo album. Actually, for a friend of mine, Bruce Harder, up in the Yukon. We were single dads, and he was a great guy. He had a lot of gold in his heart. And we talk about the gold rush up there, but it's really about the people that help us every day and hold us up and don't ask nothing for it. So remember to show some love and spread that around. And John Prine did a lot of that. He sure shared something with his music that I just can't say enough about that. So if you do know the chorus and you're out there, it's called You Got Gold. Just pipe up. Let them know that there's still some live audiences. Even though we're practicing our physical distance here, it's great to have you here and out there on the live stream. Thanks for tuning in, and happy birthday to John Lehman, who actually, I'll tell you this little story. John Lehman's in the hospital right now, and they're deciding whether or not they're going to cut off his here or down below. And he was at the Edmonton Folk Festival and saw John Prine, and told him that he never even heard about his music or him, and he was an artistic director, John Lehman was. And he says, but I learned about your music from a fella up in the Yukon at the Capitol Hotel. He used to play a few of your tunes every night. His name was Kevin Barr. And so John reached over, John Prine, and he grabbed a pen and he wrote on there for Kevin, thank you, John Prine, for doing his tunes. And I have that by my kitchen table. And, so John Lehman and John Prine, it's all tough sometimes, but we gotta go take the good with the bad and the bad with the good, as the elders say. And we're here to hold each other up as we move forward. And it is crazy times to be doing that. So be kind to your mind, everybody. And you all got some gold inside of you. Cultivate it. Is there ever enough space between us? Keep us both honest and true. Why is it so hard to sit in the yard, stare at the sky so blue? I got a new way of walking, a new way of talking, honey, when I'm around you. And it gives you the blues when you got some good news you want it there to bring you to. Now life is a blessing, delicatessen, all the little favors you do, all wrapped up together, no matter the weather, baby, you always come through. Here's a measure of pleasure, gives me the treasure, loving you the way that I do. You know I will gladly say I need your love badly, with all these little things you do. You got gold, gold inside of you. You got gold, gold inside of you. Well, Justice got some gold inside her too. Well, I thinking I'm no, gotta be going. No hate to stay so long. It gives me a notion, mixed up emotions, have to work it out in a song. Well, I'm leaving a lot for all the little I got, and no lot of little will do. If you give me your love, let it shine up above, light my way back home to you. You got gold, gold inside of you. Little louder. You got gold, gold inside of you. The Dunkin' showroom's got some gold inside it too. You got wheels turning inside of you. You got wheels turning inside of you. But June's got some wheels inside her too. Oh, we all got some wheels inside us too. Let's do You Got Gold. You got gold turning. You got gold louder turning inside of you. Well, I got some gold inside me too. Oh, we all got some gold inside us too. Be kind to your mind, folks. Thank you very much. Hallelujah.
Well, 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 do I ever feel like I was just at a folk revival. But what was that? At least we didn't sing Kumbaya. But I still had that
There might
same...
still be time.
I still had that...
Easy?
No, don't you start. Well, man, that was so cool. Thanks, Kevin, for taking the time to do this, man. This is so great.
My
39 Days of July is just always an interesting thing happening all the time and how it comes about. It's magical, and thanks for adding to that magic, sir.
Thank
We
you
do
very much.
appreciate it. If you ever get the opportunity, you can just check him out, Kevin Barr. He's still up there. He's still got product for sale. He's still got some of those CDs that he wrote songs on. That song would be on that. You got that on an album. You might want to check all that stuff out. Kevin Barr with 2 R's. Thank you very much. We're going to take a quick break here while we get ready for Andrea Smith is up at 6 o'clock. Yes, that lady that I've always wanted everyone to hear as often as you can. She'll be up here in 5 to 7 minutes. We'll be right back as soon as we can.
This is Tom Waits' song called Chocolate Jesus. That's jazz right there. Well, I don't go to church on Sunday. I don't get on my knees to pray. Don't memorize the books of the Bible. I got my own special way. I know that Jesus loved me, maybe just a little bit more. I fall down on my knees every Sunday at Sorrel de Leash candy store. Well, it's got to be a chocolate Jesus. It makes me feel so good inside. got to be a chocolate Jesus who's keeping me satisfied. But I don't want no adversary. Don't I know I'm in joy? 'Cause there ain't nothing better or suitable for this boy. Well, I know there can't be no better pick me up. It's better than a cup of gold. It's only a chocolate Jesus can satisfy my soul. Now when the weather gets rough, it's whiskey in the shade. It's best to wrap your savior up in cellophane. He flow like the big muddy, but now that's okay. Pour him over ice cream for a nice buffet. Yeah, pour him over ice cream for a nice buffet. Well, it's got to be a chocolate Jesus. It's good enough for me. Yeah, it's got to be a chocolate Jesus. It's good enough for me. Well, it's got to be a chocolate Jesus. It make me feel so good inside. It's got to be a chocolate Jesus who's keeping me satisfied. She's keeping me satisfied. Oh, it's keeping me satisfied. It's keeping me satisfied. He's keeping me.
Let's wait for it.
I got my eyes from a father who never taught me how to dance with my lover. My pocket full of tales from my grandma. She said, gonna show you how to dance with another. Wake up, listen to your heart and wake up. Wake up and listen to your soul. Wake up, listen to your heart and wake up. I got my ass from my mother. She never taught me how to dance with my lover. Oh, bucket full of tales from my brother. He said, gonna show you how to dance with another. Wake up, listen to your heart and wake up. And listen to your soul. Wake up. Listen to your heart and wake up.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to day 20 of the 39 days of July. Day 20. 19 days left. We're over the hump. That's it. We're on the way. It's kind of like after the longest day of the year, June 21st, we're on our way to Christmas, right?
It's all
Now, people always
downhill.
forget that. They always think, well, the summer's coming. No, the days are getting shorter. You know, so that's just the way it is. The festival's going to be over in another 19 days. But until then, we're going to continue to bring you stellar entertainment. And because of the way we're doing it on the live stream, it's all archived. So you can go back to the 39 Days of July and watch every show that we've done up to date. Matter of fact, there's two on there, Vibrant Visuals and the Porter Brothers, who the first Saturday, we had some complications and their show didn't get online. And we felt so bad that we reorganized them. They're going to be on another date. You'll see that on I think it's the 23rd, a Thursday night. They're going to come in. Vibrant Visuals are going to do half-hour set, and then the Porter Brothers will do their full-on set. So we can say for sure that they did appear at the 39 Days of July. We do believe they're worth it. And speaking of people who are worth it, this is your third visit. Plus,
So excited.
yeah, I know.
This
I
is
love
my
it when you
third.
do. And you know, I've seen you with the trio. I've seen you as the solo, and I kind of like the solo. I've seen you as a duo in my lifetime too.
Yes, you
But the
have.
solo part, there's just something you do. You guys, as I said earlier on another show on Monday, there's these little songs. They're earworms. Like once you get the melody in your head, you just kind of go, "Wow, I like that." And when you hear it again, it just it's got that soothing feel that it does. You write some
Nice.
great songs, and
Thank you.
And there's always that Ricky Lee Jones thing.
Yeah.
You know, I hate to say it, but damn, I love it.
I know.
I love that part of you, as well as all the
I love
rest
that
of it.
part of me too.
As all the part of the rest
That's
of it,
the
right?
part. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, her name's Andrea Smith. This is her third time. She won't get a chance to do this again this festival. So please take note. This is Andrea Smith. I consider her a very good friend, and I think you're going to be entertained.
Thank you, LJ. Thank you, everybody. So nice to have an audience here. Some people here today. That's awesome. This first song I'm going to do is a song that I wrote with a great guitar player, jazz guitar player by the name of Pat Coleman. He taught at VIU for years. He toured. He did it all back in the day in the 60s. They had a big rock band that played in Las Vegas and all that. Anyway, this song is called Busy Being in Love. If you call me up, that's what I'm doing tonight. I'll say thank you for your gracious invite, but I'm too busy being in love. Since I found my love, it seems I ain't got no time. Like a hand in a glove, we fit together just fine. And the days roll past, I get nothing done. Friends all asking, did you find someone? And if you call me up, that's what I'm doing tonight. I'll say thank you for your gracious invite, but I'm too busy being in love. Why we're kissing and hugging most all of the time. Either I am in his place or he is in mine. Thank you. I do have albums that I've made, and they are for sale. They're also downloadable on the iTunes and Rhapsody, Spotify, all of that. This is called Tell Me Why. Tell me why do you treat me this way? Tell me why do you treat me this way? Well, I told you once, ah, baby, that's all I gotta say. Tell me why do you treat me so bad? Tell me why do you treat me so bad? Well, I told you once, ah, baby, you're making me so mad. Well, you call me up, you said, come on down, you're gonna dress me up, you're gonna take me to town. Tell me why do you treat me this way? Well, I told you once, ah, baby, that's all I gotta say. Tell me why do you treat me this way? Now, tell me why do you treat me this way? Well, I told you once, ah, baby, that's all I gotta say. Well, I came on down and I was ready to play, but some other filly was already making your day. Tell me why do you treat me this way? Well, I told you once, ah, baby, that's all I gotta say. I had enough of your messed up games. My love was blind, but now I see who's to blame. Tell me why do you treat me this way now? Well, I told you once, ah, baby, that's all I gotta say. Tell me why do you treat me this way? Tell me why do you treat me this way now? Well, I told you once, ah, baby, that's all I gotta say. Tell me why. Oh. I'm not even plugged in here with this one. The awesome Super Ted to the rescue. There's one right there. Will that work? They did. You're too efficient. This is efficiency overboard. Yeah, it's a little bit of a joke, hey? All right. There it is. Oh boy. The song is called Coolest Guy. It is. I'm singing it for Ted. Take it like. And all the other cool guys out there. Truly, madly, deeply, with every fiber of my soul, you are an angel sent from heaven to me. This feeling I can't control. I'm writing love songs instead of somebody done me oh so wrong. I'm singing the sunshine lit up my sky. I finally found my very coolest guy. Totally, completely, the universe brought us here. You were searching and all alone. I've known you for so many years. One day I woke up, my eyes could finally see. One day I looked up to see the coolest guy looking right back at me. Yeah. I've never been this loved, never felt so right, never could trust my heart till he took my hand that starry night. Absolute sincerely, forever and a day, side by side and hand in hand, the British House to Byron Bay. And when I wake up and you're beside me, I know I finally got my way. I'm singing the sunshine lit up my sky. I finally found my very coolest guy. My coolest guy. Coolest guy. My very coolest guy. Oh yeah. Ooh, he's so cool. Coolest guy. Thank you. Gonna do a cover song now. Oh, I think I need a capo. No, I don't. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. I know not everybody's got a body like you, but I gotta think twice before I give my heart away. And I know all the games you play because I play them too. Oh, but I need some time up from that emotion. Time to pick my heart up off the floor. And when the love comes down without devotion, well, it takes a strong one, baby, but I'm showing you the door. 'Cause I gotta have faith. I gotta have faith. 'Cause I gotta have faith, faith, faith. I gotta have faith. Baby, I know you're asking you say? Can't help but think of yesterday, and another one to tie me down to the lover rules. Before this river becomes an ocean, before you take my heart back on the floor. Oh, baby, I reconsidered my foolish notion, but I need someone to hold me, but I'll wait for something more. 'Cause I gotta have faith, I gotta have faith. 'Cause I gotta have faith, faith, faith. I gotta have faith. Oh, before this river becomes an ocean, before you throw my heart back on the floor. Oh, baby, I reconsidered that foolish notion, but I need someone to hold me, but I'll wait for something more. 'Cause I gotta have faith, I gotta have faith. 'Cause I gotta have faith, faith, faith. I gotta have faith, faith, faith. George Michael, just for fun.
I had the butt cam on you for a bit, but you didn't wiggle like George Michael did in the video.
Oh my gosh. He's got way more energy, or he had way more energy. It's too hot. It's hot today. It's a beautiful hot day out in Duncan town. I love this town. I've been trying not to play the same song for all of my gigs. So it's causing me to reach deep into what I used to play. If there's anybody watching or live streaming from Ontario, this one is for you. I spent a few years out there doing my massage therapy training, and I got to spend some time with my good friend Janice Hoff in Northern Ontario. She lives in Elliott Lake. There is a town in North Ontario, dream, comfort, memory to spare. In my mind, I need a place to go. Canadian content for you there. I gotta do it. How come you don't come be with me down at the meter no more? How come you turn off the TV? Hang that sign on the door where we call and we call. How come we say, hey, I can make a boy behave this way? And he learned all of the lines, and every time he don't stutter when he talks. It's true, it's true. He sure has a quite cool, inspired sort of jazz when he walks. Where is the jacket in his old blue jeans? Hey, does he know that he's some kind of clean? I think that Chucky's in love. Chucky's in love. No, no, Chucky's in love. Yeah, Chucky's in. I don't believe what you're saying to me. This is something I gotta see. Is he here? I look in the pool hall. Is he here? I look in the drugstore. Is he here? No, he don't come here no more. I tell you what, I saw him even sitting behind us down at the penitentiary. Just whatever it is that he got up his sleeve, I hope it ain't contagious. What's her name? Is that who there cries? I think he's even combed his hair. Is that her? What's her name? Whoa, ain't never gonna be the same. No, that's not her. I know what's wrong. Get Chucky in love with a little girl who's singing this song. Don't you know Chucky's in love? Chucky's in love. No, no, no. Chucky's in love. Yeah. Chucky's in. Chucky's in love. Chucky's in love. Is in love with me. So Chucky. Thank you. How much time have I got? Couple of songs? 2 or 3? Nice. Okay. Okay. I wrote a couple of songs this winter, and I've been playing them at every show. I'm not going to do both of them, but I am going to do Northern Town, because I believe my girlfriend Lisa is watching from somewhere. I think she's up in Prince George, and she was there in Blue River with me this winter, so she will relate to this song. Ain't seen snow this high, plow trucks are going by, mountains that touch the sky in this northern town, peaks that tickle twinkling stars. We're staring at the moon for hours, wondering how the old folks are in this northern town. I ain't seen a sunny sky
Cedars Creek and ravens cry. We're all just getting by in this northern town. Ice is on the rink, they say. In the snowbanks, children play. The power's out for the day in this northern town. The peon side, the boss is blue. I don't know who to answer to. Truth is blurred, won't lie to you in this northern town. They don't care if you toe the line, telling lies 'cause we're doing fine. It's a lot like doing time in this northern town. People come and people go, skiers ski and snowflakes blow. It's all a great big show in this northern town. I ain't seen a sunny sky, Cedars Creek and ravens cry. We're all just getting by in this northern town. We're all just getting by in this northern town. We're all just getting by in this northern town. Northern town. Thank you. What am I going to do? I'm going to do Black Moods. Talking about New Orleans. She said, child, where are you going? I said, Ma, I'm going away. Your black moods have set me to wander around. I'll be gone after today. Heading south to New Orleans. These northern Cajuns had their way. Their black moods have set me to wander around now. I'll be gone after today. When the full moon shines on the ocean, yeah, I'll have gone 500 miles, heading south to New Orleans, where the old oak and willow sigh. Well, my own child is born and grown now. I feel that longing in his soul. He's headed north towards the bayou. Wandering blood, he's gonna go. He said, Ma, I love you, won't it? Yeah. Your brown eyes shine bright today. but your black moods have set me to wander around now. I'll be gone after today. When the full moon shines on the ocean, yeah, I'll have gone 500 miles, heading north towards the bayou. Just stopped in to say goodbye. When the full moon shines on the ocean, yeah, I'll have gone 500 miles, heading south toward New Orleans. Just stopped in to say goodbye, bye, bye. Just stopped in to say goodbye. Just stopped in, yeah, say goodbye, bye, bye, bye. I just stopped in, say goodbye. Black Moods. It was nice. Thank you. Two more? One, this one and another one? Okay. For the standing ovation. All right. I'm going to do one more cover. This is actually a cover of a cover. You'll recognize it, though. She was more like a beauty queen from movie scene. I said, don't mind, but what do you mean? I am the one who would dance on the floor and around. She told me her name was Billie Jean. She caused a scene. Every head turned with eyes that dreamed of being the one who would dance on the floor and around. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. My mother always told me, be careful who you love. Be careful what you do before the lie becomes a true love. Oh, Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. Kid is not my summer. 40 days and for 40 nights, I was on her side. Who can stand when she's into men, her schemes and plans? 'Cause we dance on the floor and around. So take my strong advice. Remember to always think twice. Told my baby we'd dance for 3, and she looked at me. Showed a picture, my baby cried. His eyes were like mine. 'Cause we dance on the floor and around. People always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. Then she stood beside me, the smell of sweet perfume. It happened much too soon when she called me to a room. Oh, oh, Billie Jean is not my lover. She's just a girl who claims that I am the one. Kid
Thanks so much. Thank you all for tuning in wherever you are. This is a wonderful thing to have this live stream going on, and it's so awesome that LJ was able to continue this 39-day festival. This is the year number 9. And yeah, it's wonderful that he was able to do it in these times and keep going with the streaming. And Ted Cadillac and Trevor and everybody, thank you all so much for being here and working hard and getting all that technology going on so people can still enjoy the music. This is Earl. I love you, Earl. Love that you're a man of your word. Love you been around the world. I am your girl, Earl. I feel you, Earl. I love you even when we're far apart. Kid yourself, you know you got my heart. I am your girl, Earl. I feel you, Earl. Feel you when you're lying next to me. You're as busy as a honeybee, looking for a flower, Earl. I'm your girl, I love you, Earl. Love you when we dance cheek to cheek. People stop and stare 'cause we look sweet. I am your girl, Earl. Say ba do ya do do dee da ba do de be oh ba do ya do ya do de do de ba do ya do de say be oh ba do 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 ba do ya ba do do ya ba do ya do sa la do be oh sa la ba do ba do ya do do oh oh do ya do ya do do do. I love to ride your motorcycle, Earl. You know I'm a natural woman, Earl. Always gonna be your girl. Don't sell your Harley, Earl. I love you, Earl. Love you, do the things you say you will. Love it that you always get the bill. I am your girl, Earl. I miss you, Earl. Smile at me. I'm as happy as a bird in a tree, singing up a storm in a breeze. I love you, Earl. Love you when you're standing next to me. Take my hand, but I still feel free. I am your girl, Earl. Whoa, whoa, Earl. I am your girl, Earl. Oh, yes, I am, Earl. I am your girl, ba do ya do, ba do ya do, ba do ya do do. Oh, I am your girl, whoa, 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 Earl. I am your girl, Earl. Oh, yes, I am, Earl. I am your girl, Earl. Thank you.
Wow,
Earl.
why do I want to be
Jazzy
Earl?
Earl.
Why do I want to be Earl all of a sudden? My goodness, what a treat. Andrea Smith, thank you very much for doing this.
My pleasure.
You know, it's a pity that your
I
time
love
has
it
come
here.
for this, but it's been great. The nice thing is that it's archived, so I can go back and watch it.
I know.
And I will.
I know. I love playing here. It's like being in my favorite living room
Isn't
of my
it?
favorite people.
Well, it is my living room.
With the
It's Ted's
coolest
living room.
stuff.
It's kind of hard, like.
Cool stuff. And I might have a little surprise for you. I might be doing backup vocals for somebody.
Oh, I thought you were going to brought pie.
The cookies were great. No one else got any, but I loved them.
Nice. I'm glad you enjoyed them.
So, everybody, this is day 20 of the 39 Days of July. We're on the back side of the festival. We're on our way out the door, so to speak, but we've got 19 days left after today. As a matter of fact, we still got 2 shows left today. This will be what we normally called Walkabout Wednesdays, but because we're inside, we're calling it Talk About Wednesdays. So what we're going to do is have the big mess is going to be on at 7:30. Yes, the Shepherd Boys. Aren't they just... Never know what to expect, what you do, but you don't.
Hey, Long John.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to shut down and then come back up at
Yeah, I'll
7:30
mention that.
or else Facebook will.
Yeah. And then at 8:30, we've got Daniel Lapp's going to be here with Emmett, a young kid named Emmett that he's been really impressed with on piano. And he's bringing him up. And, you know, the fiddle and piano kind of goes together. And then they brought Adam Dobre to add in just to make it that much more of a special night. So stay tuned in at 8:30 and at 7:30. And we're going to be going off air shortly because we have to do that because Facebook will only allow us on for so many hours, and then we have to take a break, or else it would be halfway through the show and you'd lose it. And we don't want to do that. So don't think that we're gone away. We're just temporarily closing the door. You can, in fact, come down to the show tonight. We still have some seats left if you want to come down and catch some of it. And if you're staying at home, go to your pocketbook, get out your card. There's a way to e-transfer. There's a way to help keep this festival alive. Next year's our 10th anniversary, and like 10th in the festival series, that means you've reached a certain pinnacle of success, right? Yeah. And we've been training young Trevor to make sure that, you know, it's not just about me, it's all the guys, Ted and Trevor.
Everybody.
Yeah, to
But
make
you
it
can't
work.
keep it going without
You got to
the help
keep it going.
from the community. So.
Yeah, and so the neat thing is that
There's a tip jar,
we need help.
right?
There's a tip jar,
a
yeah.
Tip jar thing, yeah.
And if you can do that,
tip jar.
tip jar.
Put your
Do
money in the tip jar.
Do the tip jar. And what else? Thank you to Dr. Ted Cadillac for making sure this all happens. All this live stream, by the way, is done by one person, most often Ted. If not, he's got young Trevor in there helping him. But the way it works out is one guy's up there. He's doing the sound for the room, for everyone that's in the room. They're then changing that sound up so it goes to the video and to the YouTube and all that. That's a whole different mix that goes on. Then while they're doing that, they're changing the lights to go with the mood of the music. And then they're programming 5 cameras to make sure that they can get the slot that goes with the next piece of the song. So it really is
And
big.
throwing in some sweet special effects from time to time.
Oh, yeah, you know it. So it is a wonderful thing to have those guys on our side and making it all happen. The 39 Days of July, a rather long music festival taking place in a rather fun place to be. Thank you very much. Yep. Thank you. I love that crowd. Love that crowd. Yep. We'll see you a little later. You're going to be listening to some music that was recorded live at the showroom before we actually close it down. I want to thank the people over at the Commons. That's the food court on Craig Street and Station. They've been playing our music. I saw that Mario was mentioning that he loved your voice. He said that. So that was coasting through in the park over there. That's really nice. That's the advantage we have in the disadvantages that we've been given us. Yes. Right? Making lemonade out of the lemon. Yeah, man. See you later. Bye-bye for now. I got a break. I know where I'm going.